Hi guys, I've got another review for you. Obviously something a lot smaller as compared to the other week's review of the Predalien. This week I've got something from Star Trek. Star Trek. It's not to everybody's taste, but I've always enjoyed the franchise. I used to like the original series. Even more so I like the Next Generation and obviously Voyager as well. I absolutely loved Voyager. Deep Space Nine, it kind of passed me by. I couldn't get into Deep Space Nine, yet everybody raves about Deep Space. But no, it just didn't do it for me, I'm afraid. I think if I had to pick, the most enjoyable ones of Star Trek, I think it would probably be Voyager or the Next Gen out of all of them. This is something I originally had an order with Master Replicas going back nearly close to 2 years ago now, I would imagine. As most people are already aware of, Master Replicas have gone out of business, so by that stage I think I'd had it on order about 12 months and then I found out that the company had gone under. So eventually I decided to order the EFX model, which was a little bit annoying because it was twice the price, and it was twice the price because of the signature, which is signed by Brent Spiner, who played Data in the series and in the films as well. Okay, so I'll start off with the plaque. So there you go, first contact from the movie, signed by Brent Spiner, and it just states that it is the Mark 9 tricorder. Like I say, I'm not a big fan of signatures, but having said that, it is quite satisfying having this with his signature next to it. And then moving up, obviously just like Master Replicas, I've got the case. In fact, I had to buy the case separately because EFX don't automatically supply the acrylic covers as Master Replicas did. So I had to purchase that separately. And as if by magic, acrylic case removed. Just one thing I want to mention before I go on is, obviously most people already know this, but the plaque doesn't fit on the base, which is a little bit frustrating because all of Master Replicas pieces used to fit inside of the acrylic cover, but unfortunately it doesn't happen on this particular one. So let's get some nice close-ups for you. The main differences from this one and the Master Replicas, one of them being the colour. The Master Replicas version was a slightly darker silver finish. Apparently EFX, from what I understand from off the forums, is that they changed the colour slightly, made it slightly paler to better match the original props. Now some people are saying that that this is slightly too light and the colour is actually somewhere in between the two of this EFX model and the Master Replicas model. To be honest with you, I don't know how true that is. I'm not that much of a geek, but all I can tell you is it looks good and it's finished well. The other change that they made, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Oops, losing focus. You might be able to just about see the LEDs through the printed areas. Now originally on the Master Replicas model, this printed finish was clear, and you could quite easily see the LEDs at the back of the label. So what EFX did was they gave the print, this clear print, sort of a satin finish, so it softens the LEDs. So although you can probably just about make out that there are LEDs at the back there, it's not quite as obvious as what it used to be as compared to the Master Replicas model. See if I can just show you a bit of a pan around. before I switch it on, because like I say, once you've switched it on it starts to get very, very noisy. I also want to say that this thing is bloody heavy as well. I mean, it's only tiny, as you can see, it's not very big at all, but this thing could actually double as a doorstop. It feels like it's sort of 80% steel, and then there's a small cutout, well, just enough room to actually put the electrics in, and the rest is basically all cast metal. So for the size of it, it really is extraordinarily heavy, and I would imagine if these actually existed in real life, they wouldn't actually be as heavy as this. You may have heard that it was a closing noise. Now the next time I open this, it's going to make a complete racket, so just before I open it, I'll show you the back. Not much to see on the back. The only main piece of plastic on this, apart from a few other clear pieces, is the back panel, and that is plastic, and that is obviously where the batteries are kept, and then all the rest is pretty much metal. Some plastic components across the front, and then you've got another printed label. I don't know what you call it, a label, a printed label, or printed front cover, I suppose you could call it. And then you've got a few bits and pieces at the front, and then here we go. Hold your ears. So with it switched on, and this goes off probably after about 2 minutes, to be honest with you, so it won't be going on for too long. You might be able to see immediately that the lighting effects, all the lighting effects, are quite blurred out, and this is what I was going on about, where EFX have used a satin film on the printed graphics, and that makes the LEDs, as I've already said, because I'm repeating myself, less obvious. What's quite neat with this is that there is only one light in there, but because it bounces the light off all the 4 flat surfaces inside there, it makes it look a lot more than what it really is. And then if you close it up, you get the closing effect, just like you do on the series. It's not a mechanical sound effect. In other words, it's not created by a ratchet inside there. It is actually an electronic sound. So that's why if I close it quick, it's still making the noise afterwards, because there is a slight delay on the mechanism when you close it. Okay, so that was for all you Star Trek fans out there. The next one I'm going to review, which in fact I'm going to review it now, but I'm probably not going to put the video up on the same day, so the other video may come up a week or 2 later. So if it looks like I'm wearing the same clothes, I'm not. It's filmed on the same day. So that's it. Anything else I can say? Oh, just a quick word. It was sad to hear about Ms. Pol. A few people may have heard of Ms. Pol in the Blu-ray and DVD collectors arena. Unfortunately, I believe, from what I've heard, and I'm not going to go into it in great detail, is there's been a few people on YouTube who have been acting like complete idiots and prats, which everybody gets them. We all get them. I've had them, and Miss Pol unfortunately has closed his account, which is quite sad news, because he got a phenomenal collection of DVDs and Blu-rays. I mean, I was just actually wondering when I heard this news as to whether, if you close your account, does that mean that it can be reactivated later on, or does it mean that if you close your account, everything is wiped? I mean, if that's the case, then Ms. Pol, I mean, I don't know, he must have had hundreds of videos on his channel, and it must have took many hours to create that channel and upload all those videos. I really hope that if he does come back, he decides to return to YouTube, that he hasn't got to start all over again. Hopefully he can just reactivate the account and away he goes. But yeah, there's there are a few idiots out there on YouTube, but what can you do? It's like a disease on YouTube, isn't it? You know, you just get them and they are just a pain in the arse. So, sorry to hear about Miss Paul. So that's it. That's the end of this. I'll speak to you guys soon.